readers, Chris here. Today I'm coming at you with two reviews. First is going to be The Wishing Spell from the Land of Stories series by Chris Colfer, and second is going to be Innovative Magic by Cristy Bowlin. I'm going to talk about Innovative Magic first because I don't have a physical copy of this book. It was sent to me as an ebook, and it's actually an advanced copy. This book comes out next week on July 19th. Some of you, if you've been around for a while, may remember that last year I actually was a beta reader for Cristy's first book, which was called Hybrid Magic. I'll link that video somewhere around here whenever I do editing. But I've gotten to know Cristy a little bit over on Instagram. She's such a nice person. So in the beginning of the year, when I was looking for recommendations to read this year, she was like, oh, hey, I've got a sequel coming out. Can you read it, before it comes out? And of course, I said yes. So thank you, Cristy, for sending me this advanced copy of your book. So just to set the stage, in case you're not familiar with this series, basically, it is a middle grade fantasy, so it is meant for younger readers. And in this world, most people have like one type of magic. They either have like combat magic or healing magic. It's a very specific type of magic that does a very specific type of thing. But of course, there are certain people that are special because they can use more than one magical faculty, and these are called hybrid mages. So in this story, we have a group of young children. They're all hybrid mages. Because they're different, they're kind of hunted down by certain groups. They are on the run. They're constantly in danger. And there's really like three main characters. And I am happy that the same three main characters in book one have continued into book two. So our three characters are Aaron, Theo, and Alara. Aaron is he's kind of like the Harry Potter of this world, where he did something super crazy cool when he was a child. So he's really well known in this world. Theo is like the oldest of the group, so he's kind of like a big brother type character. He has a really interesting history with this group that they're on the run from. These villains called the Defenders of the True Four. They're the defenders of like the true four types of magic. So in the previous book, the kids had a run-in with this group, and Theo knew someone in this group like very personally. So he's really tied to that storyline, which is kind of cool. And in this book, he has a very different experience than in book one. In book one, he had kind of a tragic storyline, but in book two, he has a much more hopeful one. And then our third character is Alara, and Alara, again, she's a young girl. She comes from this like huge family of people, and because she didn't want anything to happen to her family, she knew these bad people were after her, she chose to leave. So this isn't really a spoiler because it happened in book one, but Theo and Alara kind of have a bit of a romance going on between them. Again, because this is a middle grade series, it's not like anything crazy. It's just really sweet and really cute. So in this book, we have a new villain, a villain who's different from the kind of these defenders that they fought in book one. This villain is someone that in the history of the world they thought was like defeated, but all of a sudden she comes back. Her name is Florella. And Florella, oh my God, everyone's so scared about what she's gonna do. Even the defenders don't really know what to do with her because she's this crazy powerful magician, and she's coming back and she wants to take revenge on everything that happened to her in the past. So our three main characters, there are other characters, but I'm just trying to not make this video 500 hours long, but our three main characters have to figure out not only how to defeat Florella, but also how to keep running from the defenders. So a lot going on in this book. But I like that because the first book had a very simple plot. Not that that was bad, it was just very simple. There's a lot more going on in this one because, like I said, we've got one group, the Defenders, we've got Florella, she's another group. We have new characters in here, and we don't know where their loyalties lie. I will say that there are a lot of new characters in this story, this sequel, and I didn't connect with them quite as much as like our main cast. So I thought there were some good opportunities to like have some maybe funny characters, and there's one or two that make an impression, but none of them really stuck with me the way that our original kind of cast does. So I would say that not all of those new characters were really necessary. That's just my opinion. Circling back to the plot here, we've got, again, like I said, our characters trying to find this Florella person, trying to figure out how to defeat her, and at the same time trying to figure out how they can defeat these Defenders. And the thing I like about this plot is that it's completely different from book one. A lot of times I feel sequels either do one of two things. Sequels either try to like follow the same formula as the first book and just switch it up. Happens all the time. Or sequels try to go in like a completely different direction that a lot of times doesn't work. So this book does not go in a completely different direction, but it goes in a different enough direction to make it exciting and feel fresh. So I actually think I'm going to have to say that I prefer innovative magic over hybrid magic, which is weird. I don't usually say I like a sequel better than the original. It's really hard to do a sequel, so it's just not something that I say. So even though, again, I wasn't totally thrilled with a lot of the characters, I still think overall that I like this one better than the first one. Those are my thoughts on innovative magic. Again, it comes out next week, Tuesday, July 19th, wherever ebooks are sold. Next up, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Land of Stories, the Wishing Spell. I've already talked about this book a bunch on my channel, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet. So world building setup, we have two twins, a boy and a girl, Connor and Alex Bailey. They live with a single mother. If you didn't see my video where I talked about how I cried because of their mother, I will link that above. But basically, they have a single mother. Their father died. Their mother is struggling financially. She cannot provide for them like she wants to. And then there's this grandmother. The grandmother is the mother of the father that passed away. And this grandmother gives them this storybook. She's like, here's this storybook that we all used to read when you were, children. They're about middle school age, so, children. And lo and behold, one night, Alex and Connor find themselves sucked into this storybook. And they find themselves in the Land of Stories. And the Land of Stories is basically exactly what it sounds like. It is a storybook come to life. So we have our little Mermaid Bay. We've got Sleeping Beauty Kingdom, Charming Kingdom. I think that's Cinderella's kingdom. The Northern Kingdom is Snow White's kingdom. There is Little Red Riding Hood is in the middle. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a Jack and the Beanstalk, an old shoe. Any sort of fairy tale type story you could think of, there's probably a reference in here to it. So Alex and Connor find themselves trapped in this world. Obviously, they want to get home to their mother, so they meet this kind of traveling guy who tells them that, hey, there's this spell, this wishing spell. If you can collect everything needed for this spell, you'll be able to get back home. So they set out on this adventure all through the land to try and collect these wishing spell items. And it is a little bit of a spoiler to give away what they are specifically, so I'm just going to name one or two. One of them is Cinderella's glass slipper. So all of the items on the list are like well-known classic fairy tale items, which is so much fun. It's so much fun. So this book made me cry. It got me emotional. This book makes me feel nostalgic for my childhood because these are all the stories I loved growing up. And this book is just really fun. It's really fun. Even the villain, so the villain of this book is the evil queen, Snow White's evil stepmother. And even her, like, story in here, she's similar to, like, kind of that classic evil queen that we know and love, but there is also a bit of an arc for her as well. So the only thing I will say is that I know it's a middle grade fantasy, so I'm probably asking for a lot here, but I would like our evil villain to be, like, really evil, not just like an anti-villain. I heard this on another, I heard this recently somewhere, and I don't remember where, but I heard people talking about how a lot of times today, and like in movies and books and everything, there's not like a lot of true villains. Everyone's either an anti-villain, they're misunderstood, something happened to them, you're sympathetic to them, and I kind of agree with that. Hopefully in some of the later books we get some good, better villains. Not that she was a bad villain, I just think that there's room for improvement in that department. I don't know what else I can say about this book that I have not said already, but just to reiterate, it's got great fairy tale characters, the kids are great, it made me cry, it made me emotional, and it's just a really fun story. So again, another middle grade fantasy. If you're into middle grade fantasy, or if you have a younger reader in your life, Land of Stories, definitely recommend. Innovative Magic and Hybrid Magic, definitely recommend those as well. Editing Chris here with a reminder, if you have not entered my giveaway, there is still time. Click the link above, check out last weekend's video. You can still enter the giveaway before I pick a winner this Monday, July 18th. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel for more bookish reviews coming your way soon. Happy reading!